Hey guys, crafting journey. Do I look as tired as I feel? Oh, yeah, still recovering from the retreat, but the dogs were not going to go without their walk. They really missed it. And today is National Selfie Day. Take some selfies and post them to Crafting Journey Facebook group. Also, we got a new trial for you. It's a dog of a case. Yep. See you in a few. Hey everybody, Crafting Journey here, that Journey chick over on Instagram. Welcome to another edition of Crafting and Crime Daily. Haven't had one in a few days, but I have a new trial for you and lots of goodies to show you from the retreat, except I can't do it all in one episode. So I'm going to start by showing you the new coffee cup I purchased. It's Christmas, I know. We'll just say Christmas in June, right? It's got gnomes on it. They're in a little red truck. I think it's the same thing in the back. A similar back of the truck there. So cute. Yeah. And so delicious. Finally, my own decaf coffee. Okay. Now, we had a Secret Santa, and they would give us gifts at time to time over the weekend, and we didn't know who it was, obviously, and they would just drop off gifts. And one of the gifts they dropped off was this notebook, just a girl and just a girl who loves gnomes. What's going on with this microphone today? Come on. I'm gonna nurse it. Okay, so I can do my true crime in here. Yeah, this is good because the notebook I'm using, I've used it almost up. It's almost done. Okay, that's one of the things. Okay, just gonna show you the things that I have right here behind me. Oh gosh, you gotta see this. I bought this at this little store called, it was a general store, Uranus General Store in Uranus, Indiana. That is the name of the town, Uranus. Welcome to Uranus. Yeah. Anyway, this says, because cats, it's a gnome. It's a cat lady. Look at all the cats. Oh my God. Isn't she adorable? Okay, so that is my cat lady gnome. I purchased that. I just couldn't resist. Oh my God, it's so cute. I know it's supposed to be out in a garden. I don't have a garden. No. Then we got this cool pen holder in our swag bag. So I put all these pens in here. Now, some of them I brought, some of them came in the swag bag, some I purchased. This one came in the swag bag. It's real pretty diamond. Look, how cute is that? This Crashly made this one. Crafts with Crashly. And it says Crafting Journey on it. It's a clay pen. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. Already had. Okay. Purchased from, what's the name of it? Oh gosh. Enablers Outpost. Oh my God, I knew I'd remember it. Look how beautiful that is. It's a hybrid pen. I love wood hybrid pens. And it's, the thick kind. We like the thick kind. Yeah, no, I didn't just do that. Yep, I did. So I like that, you can roll it all up and put it away, put it aside here. And I'm going to unbox something that I got in the mail when I got home. And they're gorgeous. I will do an up close of each one of them so you can really see how pretty they are. They come in this beautiful packaging. I'll try. This is the most gorgeous one. Oh my God. Has, these are round for squares. So they're round, but they will work in your square painting. One is Icicle. This is Bubble, Wedding Bouquet, and Water Drop. This is the newest set of flame drills. I think she calls them flame drills. I don't know. But look how pretty. Look at that icicle. That icicle right there. Oh, gorgeous. Then I ordered a second set that I did not have already. So this set has shadows, amber, amethyst, and tanzanite, which is like a purple. So lots of different things to choose from. Yeah, it's hard to see. So we will do up close. Very, very pretty. And they are having a sale this summer. The link is down in the description. If you follow that link, it'll take you right to the store. Oh, I have a little tickle in my throat. It'll take you right to the store. And this summer is buy 3, get 1 free. Yeah. So take advantage of that sale, guys. Yeah. Okay, diamondpaintingdrills.com. This is the painting that I started at the retreat, waiting for the master. Now, I think I've showed you guys this before. This is, I kitted it up one night in the hotel. So this is, I got it all to fit in 2 containers, because what I do, in addition to putting it into a Harbor Freight container, is when it has a small amount of drills, I just put them into these little jars. So it doesn't take up as much space. But there is a picture of the painting on top here. That's the actual painting. The cabin with the dock, and at the end of the dock, the doggies are waiting for their master. So I decided to start it from the side because it's a very wide painting. So I went up the side. Here we go. This is the part that I worked on at the retreat. So I've got all this. Now, this tree is not done. I still got to fill it all in. There's lots of ABs that went here that they're in there. I don't know if you can see how much they're sparkling. So this is all, this part's pretty much finished. I just got to finish this part here. And then I thought, because I didn't want to use release papers at the retreat, because I wanted to be able to just roll it and bring it home with no fuss, to put it back in the box. So now that I'm home, I'm going to take this plastic off and put down release papers, and then probably do it a little bit more organized. But at the retreat, I just had it sitting kind of like this. Oh, you can't see. You know, I just had it sitting like this on my table, rolled up, so I could work on it. And I gotta tell you, it's gorgeous. Oh, one thing I did do, I put these, I don't know if you can tell, these glass, or these square, are they crystals? Square, oh no, they're metallics, square gold metallics in the window. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I'm gonna do that with all the windows. Oh, it's hot. And I don't know, I think I told most of you, like, while I was gone, the AC guy came and said he was just supposed to change the filter. Not change the filter, clean the filter. We have one of those air conditioner units that it has a built-in filter. I can't change it. The company has to come out and clean it. So he came out and he says, "Now you need a new air conditioner." He says, "I've been nursing this thing for 3 years. $7,000. So it's been ordered. It should be here this afternoon. It should be installed tomorrow." Now, our air still works, but not great. Like, so last night, it was 80 degrees in the house when I went to bed. But I've got a fan blowing and, you know. Yeah, the joys of rentership, I should say. Rentership, because, of course, the landlord's response was, "Well, I'm going to raise your rent." Of course you are. Okay. So, it is National Selfie Day. It's also the first day of summer. Yay! How fitting we should be talking about air conditioners. Oh my God, if you saw the rest of my craft room, because when I came in yesterday, I just threw everything into the craft room floor, and I kind of got a lot of it unpacked last night, you know, stuff that I needed, my CPAP machine, my meds, my clothes. I'm ready to do some laundry. But the actual, like, swag, stuff like that, I have not unpacked for the most part. So today, National Selfie Day. Take a selfie. You know, here, let's take a selfie. Let's take a selfie of us doing the show. Why not? Okay. Hey. See, I can't press the button and take a selfie at the same time. This is my problem. I'm not that coordinated. Okay, I will post that in the Crafting Journey Facebook group. Post your selfie. I need some drills to put down here while I'm talking, man. While I'm talking to you. Okay, this is a good one. This is a good one. Okay. Now the tray that I'm using, this is I had this tray. This is from, I'm picturing the people because I met all these people. But then I have to think of their company names. This is from Bella Art de Nicole, but I had this already, but I did buy some new ones, some little ones, because I wanted some little trays. But I'll show you that up sometime later. I'm not going to get all that out right now because I still got to work. When I got home yesterday, I had to turn the computer on and get some work done. I worked till about 9:30, 10 o'clock last night. Yeah. Had to get some work done. Work. All right, we're ready to talk about the new trial. Yes. Okay. 75-year-old Ronald Jacobson this is a civil case, guys. Yes, this is a civil case. He is suing Zachary Dieterle for the murder of his dog, assault, and punitive damages, like a bunch of stuff. He's suing him for a bunch of stuff. Money. He's suing him for money. Let's just get right down to brass tacks. He's suing him for money. So here's what happened. The dog's name was Candy. She was a bull terrier, a Staffordshire bull terrier mix. In other words, a bulldog. And Rodney and his wife had fostered her from a shelter. This was what they do for animals. Rodney has this room set up in his house just for fostering medically needy animals. And most of the time, these medically needy animals are pregnant. Well, that's how they got Candy. Now, in this room, they have some furniture that they can lay on. It's exclusively for these medically needy foster animals. They've got a whelping pen, they've got a television, they've got everything they could want in this room. And Candy came and she gave birth to 12 puppies. After she gave birth to the 12 puppies, and they were able to adopt them all out. All the puppies got adopted. But afterwards, they decided, we want to keep Candy. We like Candy, and we're going to keep her. I don't know what I did with my tweezers. It's going to be one of those days. Tweezers. So what they do while they're medically needy and they're fostering and they're having their babies and they're raising their babies, they stay in this room and they stay separated from all the other animals. But since all of her babies got adopted out, they slowly started to bring her out with the other animals. Now, more on that story later. So fast forward 3 years, this Candy becomes Rodney's best friend. He at the time of the event that we're in trial for, Rodney was 66 years old. He's running a building contracting business. He's a building contractor. And every morning he would get his truck and Candy would jump right in with him. She'd get in the truck and she would go with him. Like, Candy had Rodney as her person. Rodney was her person. And she went everywhere with him. And the clients loved her. The workers loved her. She never showed any signs of aggression or ill temper to anyone that he took her around. So one day he takes her to the boat. Now, he often took her to his boat. He had a boat that was moored on the property of Dee Dieterle, which is Zachary Dieterle's grandfather. And also, it's a 10-acre property that's an LLC. I don't know if it's a tree farm. This is in Florida, by the way. Did I mention Florida? Zachary Rodney Jacobson is from Florida, Nokomis, Florida, and this all takes place in Venice, Florida. So he's got his boat moored on this property with the permission of the LLC and Dee Dieterle, the grandfather of Zachary Dieterle. And Zachary Dieterle knew this. He knew that Rodney was there, with permission. He wasn't trespassing. And the dog had been on the property many times, but I don't know that Zachary had ever encountered this dog before. So Rodney's getting ready for the Christmas boat parade, and his boat's going to be part of this. In Florida, the boat parades are a thing. I find the weather was always horrible whenever I watched boat parades. It was freezing, and in Florida, or rainy, or it was just never good weather for the boat parades. So he was actually doing, his boat was going to represent some animal shelter. So, and Rodney would take his dog down to the boat all the time. The dog was very familiar with the boat, but he also liked to chase geckos around the property. But at the time of the event, Candy had gone and she had laid under the truck to get some shade. And Rodney was down at his boat, and he hears someone call his name. So he starts heading towards, where this is coming from, which is his truck. And he says it's about 100 feet. And what he can see is that Candy now is out from underneath the truck, and she's barking at Zachary Dieterle, who now is kicking dirt in the face of this dog. So he comes up to get between Zachary and the dog. He wanted to go get his dog. He picks her up. They have a conversation, and he puts her back down, and they're walking back toward the boat, and he hears a gunshot, multiple gunshots. And he says, I know there were gunshots. I was in the Coast Guard. I know I've fired guns. I know what they sound like. Well, and then Candy takes off running towards the boat. And Zachary had shot her twice, and shot towards Rodney and the truck. I don't get the whole positioning thing. I'm sure we will during the trial, but he shot towards the truck, towards the dog, towards Rodney. So Rodney's taking off after the dog, and he's following the blood trail to find out where the dog went. He finds the dog in his boat, in the cabin, lying on top of some life preserves. She's still alive. She's moaning. So he picks her up, runs with her back past Zachary, who's just standing there now and not saying nothing. But one of the things he did before he runs after the dog is he confronts Zachary. After he hears the gunshots, before he runs after the dog, he confronts Zachary and he says, did you just shoot my dog? And Zachary says, yeah, and I would do it again. Well, but not that politely. He said it with a few curse words. And I would do it again. That dog's dangerous. How could you bring that dog on my property? So that's when he goes after and gets his dog, brings his dog back past Zachary, puts the dog in his truck, races to a veterinarian. The vet says, I don't know if I can save her life, but Zachary says, do whatever. He says, do whatever you have to do. I don't care about the cost. And, we'll come to find out that Rodney has a bit of money. Rodney's not poor. So he puts down $5,000. So they end up putting this dog, and Rodney goes with her, Candy, into a dog ambulance, transports the dog from Venice to Tampa, which I would say is probably, if I can remember, Venice is in the Sarasota area. So we're talking maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours to get up to Tampa. So this doggy ambulance gets to Tampa. They take her to surgery. She makes it out of surgery. They were going to do an exploratory laparotomy to find out, where she was bleeding from and see if they could stop the bleeding. I don't know the details of all the surgery. We'll find out that when they put the vet on the stand. But after surgery, she passes away. She does not make it out, It happens. The stress of that surgery is too much for the animal. And Candy passes away. So they put Rodney in a room with Candy where he's allowed to be with her for a few minutes. And very sad ending to that. Now, Zachary is claiming self-defense, that this dog approached him, came charging after him, and he was trying to keep the dog away from him, from charging at him. That's why he was kicking dirt at the dog. He was doing everything he could to keep the dog from charging and lunging at him. Which is kind of strange, because he didn't shoot the dog until after Rodney is already there to control the dog. And then he turns around and shoots him, which is so weird. Rodney, the whole situation had changed by the time Rodney gets up to the truck. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So Rodney is also claiming intentional infliction of emotional distress. He says now he has PTSD from this whole event, that he wakes up at night with nightmares. And they did put a psychiatrist on the stand. I did watch the opening statements, and they put a psychiatrist on the stand that says, yes, he has PTSD from this event. And that PTSD is mainly a disease or a diagnosis. It's a sleep disorder. PTSD people have nightmares. They could be awake or asleep, but they have nightmares. They relive the events, and this is apparently what happened. I watched his wife take the stand. His current wife take the stand, and they apparently live in separate bedrooms now because it was so bad, because he would wake up screaming and that he was chasing Zachary, and she just says she couldn't take it anymore, so she lives in a separate bedroom now. I think there's more to that story than meets the eye. Now we find out later on that they were using a pinch collar on this dog. During the wife's testimony, it came out that they use a pinch collar. Now, I would never use a pinch collar on my dog, any dog. She says, I know it looks terrible, but any responsible dog owner would use a pinch collar to control their animal. And she testified that when she would go take the dog Candy to the vet, that Candy was very well behaved, that she never showed any aggression towards the vet during blood draws, during anything, that might hurt her. She never showed any kind of aggression. Now, here's what's coming out during this trial. Since Rodney Jacobson has put his emotional distress into, he's put his psyche into the case, now we get to look at all the stressors in his life, including the fact that he was in the middle of this crazy divorce where he had to pay his wife $5,000 a month alimony for life, and he was trying to get out of it. He was trying to get it modified. Now the current wife claims she didn't know anything about the fact that he owed all this money, because during this court process the judge kept finding him in contempt of court for various reasons, and to the point where he would say, you owe her $63,000, you owe her $38,000, you owe, and his current wife claimed not to know any of this, although later on she says she paid for the attorney for the modification or the abatement, because he does file, he does get it modified, but he gets it modified from $5,000 a month to $4,500 a month. But he paid his lawyers over $600,000 to get that modification, which is nuts. Just pay them $5,000, not the lawyers. But then later on, he wanted an abatement of the alimony. In other words, he wanted to get it stopped, and his current wife paid for the attorney for that, which was another $100,000. So there was all this personal stressors having to do with that. Then he has some kind of an accident after Candy dies. He has some kind of accident, worksite accident where he suffers a head injury, and he starts going to a neurologist after that, and having short-term memory loss. He has all these effects of this head injury, so to the point where his wife has to take over his business. And this is the point where she finds out like where all this money's going, to the ex-wife. So this is all juicy stuff for the trial. Like, is your emotional distress because of your ex-wife, or is it because of your loss of the dog Candy? Now, this has been going on for 6 years. We're now at the trial stage. Like, I can imagine they probably went through mediations. I've seen a couple of pleadings online where they've been taking this case very seriously. There was a motion for punitive damages that was granted. He is allowed to ask for punitive damages, but then the defense took it all the way up to the Supreme Court of Florida, and to hear if he was really entitled to those punitive, or what the standard. It wasn't whether he was entitled to punitive damages, but what standard should a jury apply to him getting those punitive damages? Should it be by clear and convincing evidence, or should it be by a preponderance of the evidence? Those are two different things. Preponderance of the evidence is a way lower standard. It's, more likely than not. So the judge, two different judges ruled that it was preponderance of the evidence. All Rodney has to show is that by the greater weight of the evidence, it just has to tip the scale that he's suffering emotional distress as a result of this event, then he gets punitive damages. It's not clear and convincing, it's preponderance. And the Supreme Court says, no, we're not going to hear this. The trial judges were correct. It is preponderance of the evidence. This has been going on for 6 years. I can't even imagine what he's paid this lawyer to do this lawsuit. It's probably way more than he's going to make in this lawsuit. This is just, the whole thing is just nuts. I don't know. But at the same time, who goes out and brandishes a weapon I'm going to shoot your dog? Florida. I know, it's Florida. It's Florida. And it's so funny because I'm looking up Rodney on the internet because I want to find out stuff about Rodney. And first thing that comes up, registered Republican. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. Enough said, right? It's Florida. All right, more to come on that. So yesterday, I'm driving home, and I'm like, I want to listen to the trial. They're already up to day 4. Yesterday would have been day 4. And I see a note that says, no trial today. Most of the court staff called in sick. Like, oh, okay. All right. So there was no trial yesterday. So hopefully the court staff is feeling better and they'll have some trial today. We shall see. Can you imagine? Like, half the court staff calls in sick? Yeah, that's weird. Very weird. So I'm actually instead of using my pen, I'm actually using tweezers. Sometimes I do that to lay down drills. I'll use my tweezers. But which I really like to do because you can get a very precise placement of your drill if you use tweezers. But after a while, it makes my hand hurt. So, what is this day in history? On June 21st, 1788, New Hampshire becomes the last state to ratify the Constitution, the last necessary state. So now they've got all the states they need to ratify the Constitution. Now it is signed. It is the law of the land. And everybody can own a gun. I don't think that was in the article, but yeah. I added that myself. So in order for this document to be ratified, the Constitution had to be ratified by 9 of the 13 states that existed at the time. So New Hampshire was that 9th state to come in and say, yes, we're going to ratify the Constitution. And that's when it became the law. And now you know. Okay, guys, that is the show for today. I have got to go to work. Gotta go to work. I'm working from home today. So I'm going to sit in my bed with the fan going and, because my back hurts, my knee. I'm falling apart, guys. Yeah. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow in Crafting and Crime. Take care.